Yakupan Samifon and Basufon or Asian Love, Bible frequency, truth, justice, and peace only. Who is this tarot reading for? Who is this tarot reading for? Two of Cups and the Devil. So Capricorn and Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Okay, let's pull some more cards. If you're unfamiliar with me, I'm Janina Asiri. I'm a queer Ghanaian ancestral medium, herbal ritualist, and artist based in Aotearoa. Page of Wands, Knight of Cups. I was getting Aries before as well. King of Cups, Two of Wands. So, some of y'all need to use wisdom when it comes to matters of your heart and in love. This isn't just in intimate relationship, it is, but it's also some of you have some like maybe toxic habits when it comes to intimacy and connecting with people, so you need to note what those are, because even though these cards are upright and it's like a positive energy, there's still something there that some of you are maybe not paying attention to or need to pay attention to. Maybe this is in your relationships with Page of Wands, Knight of Cups. That's quite casual, that's quite fresh. It's quite nice actually. There also could be like a strong attraction between you and somebody else. But some of you will need to be mindful of that attraction because it could transmute into something that is not beneficial for you or the other person. I don't see that it has yet, but this is just like a warning to remind yourself of your inner devil, or toxic habits, traits. I don't know why I heard personality traits, so it could be like things that you've adapted into your personality that maybe you aren't your personality anymore. So yeah, using wisdom with your choices and matters of your heart. This is even with like emotional, creative expression. You need to be wise. So this could be, this could even be to do with like mahi or work, like say, like me, say you're an artist, you might have some choices coming up in the future, and your ancestors and source, the divine, God, the creator, whatever, calling you to be wise and be mature. You might need to access courage as well in order to make this choice or take this next step. If you're in a connection, I actually find this quite interesting with Knight of Cups and King of Cups. For some of you, if this is like, it doesn't have to be a romantic, take it as it fits. If you are if you're wanting to connect with someone and you're enjoying the connection, again, it's not a negative thing, but I'm seeing that one of you, your heart, for some of you, your heart could be more open than the other person's. So just be mindful of that. Like Knight of Cups and King of Cups is not balanced. King of Cups is way more open, and Knight of Cups is like just that first step. So make sure you're on the same page in terms of your expression. So that's maybe where you need to use wisdom. I'm gonna pull Six of Swords. It's Aquarius. Also, if that doesn't resonate, I'm also seeing like your capacity to love is growing. So for some of you, just in general, you may be moving out of like shallow waters into deeper waters. So again, I'm just going to give the relationship example. Maybe you are used to just casual relationships that are kind of teetering, is that the word? On the edge. and not going too deep, but I'm seeing maybe some of you are moving on from that and are actually getting a lot deeper in your connections, and letting go of these negative and shallow attachments. The Devil and Page of Wands is kind of like someone that just wants to fuck, you know, or someone that's just like is drawn based on physical attraction. There could be someone that you are drawn to firstly based on physical attraction alone, and then you're kind of like, whoa, I actually really like you. Or you're drawn to them based on their expression, or they invite you somewhere, or whatever, but then you have this major breakthrough in this space. Yeah. Some of you all are really being called to move on from Seven of Cups illusions, so connections, offers, intimacy, things that are just, yeah, it's like foolish whims, wishful thinking. So things that don't have substance. I think I got this in another reading recently, like all that glitters is not gold, with the original tarot card for Seven of Cups. It's like all these different cups, and there's like pentacles, there's snake in one, there's like mist in one of them. Like some things look like something but they're not, so you really need to be mindful at this time, because you might be getting a lot of offers, or people could be really drawn to you. And with Two of Cups, this is based on the intimacy that you have with yourself and the divine first and foremost. For those that are wanting to connect in more intimate relationships with others, whether it be romantic, platonic, community, doesn't matter, you need to build that intimate relationship with yourself first and get to know yourself. Otherwise, you're going to attract what is shallow, because you haven't really gone into the depths of who you are at this point in time. So I'm seeing like giving it time, with the Hermit at the base of the deck, giving it time. Some of you will need to spend more time alone, healing, within your creativity, going into your willpower. And like, some of you will be like, what is willpower? Then you need to go and find out. That's what drives you. That's learning about what resources, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, physical things that you have, that what you've learned from the past, that you have acquired, so you can move forward in the journey ahead. Now, for some of you might have two options of something, like, and it could be between two things that you love, like two passions, or yeah. Justice, Libra. What other guidance information do you have for this collective? King of Swords reversed. Some of you'll need to let go of selfishness, or like being over critical, hypercritical. King of Swords is actually quite, in the worst case scenarios, quite like mentally abusive, if we're putting it in the worst. So be mindful of that. That could be where the devilish, quote unquote, tendencies coming from. Not mastering your thoughts, not mastering your mind, not mastering your voice, and those habits attached to love. So some of you are creating unconsciously, subconsciously, creating contracts, commitments through this lack and mindset. So source is wanting you to let it go, because that's what's causing hurt, or your mental health or thoughts and habits are coming from a place of hurt. And source and spirit want to clear those things up and bring those things into a harmony. So if you've experienced negative relationships in the past, or just gone through stuff in the past that's like made you unhappy, caused grief or whatever, or disappointment, some of you need to seek some advice. Something deals with just the justice system, like some of you in the future, or now in the present, are moving on from something that has caused you a lot of pain. This could be a toxic person as well. The Emperor, Eight of Coins. Sources saying to like focus your attention on, it's okay to acknowledge what has hurt you, but make sure you're fair about it and reasonable, and move with good and like positive intention, and make sure you're not operating out of toxic masculinity yourself. Doesn't matter if you're a man or not. Masculinity is an energy that we all can embody. So how are you leading yourself? How do you want to not repeat certain wounds that for some have come through your bloodline, have come through your dad, or masculine in your life? It could even be a mother, but they could be operating out of toxic masculinity. Just examples, fam, so take it where it fits. Eight of Coins at the base of the deck. Some of you also need to be focusing on the empire, try not to use that word, on the legacy that you're building, your long-term goals, and you might be looking to the past just to see like, okay, I don't want to do that again. There could be two situations that really hurt you in the past, but that you transmuting that is what's going to help you move on. Queen of Coins. Yeah, and feed that nourishment and love into yourself through physical action. So that's like, I heard massage for some, what you're eating, what you're consuming on a physical level. These two cards are very physical, so tangible. So this will also help for you all to soothe any anxiety that could be coming up. I heard preemptive, or yeah, and maybe some of you are anticipating something to go wrong in a collaboration, but you just need to protect your energy. Some of you maybe just aren't used to collaborating with others so freely and having it work out. Yeah. So yeah, physical health is really important, and learning to receive a bit more as well. So I heard as you give love, you receive it. The Fool. Some of you, okay, so this is why you'll need to use wisdom, because there's a new adventure coming up, and within that, naturally, you will have choices to make. Yeah, I'm seeing like you have two options, or you're choosing like which path to go down. There could be a period of stillness where you're like deciding with the Temperance, Sagittarius. Could be in Sagittarius season. Is that January? I don't know. Yeah, so, and this is in the future. So like you might be like starting something new, starting a new job, starting some new study, just it could even be a new obsession. But I don't see it in a negative way. I see it more as something that you're passionate about, but you also may need to be patient. Some of you also just are needing to heal from past affliction, or something that made you feel defeated, or weakened your will, because we were talking about willpower before, right? I feel like Source and the Divine, and particularly like divinities, so that's like Orisha, Neteru, Atua, are around, and they, if you resonate with that, and even your divine benevolent ancestors, yeah, really have some strong messages for you, and are very close, like personal messages. And so I'm seeing yeah, like I literally sometimes I'll see things, like I'll see kind of like not a shadow, but yeah, it kind of is a shadow. I don't know how to describe it, as if there's someone standing next to me, or in the hallway, or in my room. I don't know if this resonates with others. So I saw that in my room just recently, and then I knew, oh, there's a message for the collective. I need to jump on here and listen. So some of us need to listen into what our ancestors and Source and the Divine have to say for us about our new journey coming up ahead. So this is like taking some time for stillness, instead of just like going, like have some meditative time. Also, compatibility, looking at whether you're actually really compatible with this new journey or adventure, will take some time as well. Protect yourself against negative and unbeneficial energies and words as well, and that will come through remembering your own confidence, and being self-assured. 5 of Coins. Yeah, so there's a little bit of lack here. King of Coins. Guidance. 2 of Coins. So if you are going through any physical lack or feeling physical lack, you just need to be a little bit more adaptable on the journey. Knight of Wands. Some of you maybe aren't used to like the casual nature of a relationship, or of connecting. Like maybe you're used to you know, like when, this is just an example again, these are all examples, fam, don't like, if the example doesn't resonate but you resonate with a reading, fit it, like fit it where it fits, you know, don't force it. I was seeing that some of you aren't used to that and are used to just like jumping in to relationships like really quickly. So needs to be a mindfulness of that. Like if you do have that tendency, why? 6 of Wands. Though at the base of the deck there is this card, which means that there is success, and your ancestors and divine are leading you towards that success. So if you are having anxiety or just trust issues, maybe an affirmation will help. Whatever you need. The Moon. So coming up, oh, I just had next week, next month for some of you, so this is quick. Oh yeah, there's a full moon next week, so maybe that's what this has to do with. There is a big change coming, especially if you're feeling needing physical funds, or experience some sort of loss in the past that felt really physical to you. I'm seeing that like changing really quickly. Yeah, but it might require you to have, this is like, I'm hearing quiet time. Like some of you need quiet time because there's been a lot of chaos, there's been a lot of change with King of Coins that has been very physical, and it has been quite quick. So rest is important to replenish yourself. Ace of Coins. If some of you are getting a physical opportunity, you'll need to keep it quiet with the Moon. 8 of Coins, especially if it has to do with your long-term goals. Could be to do with work, could be to do with if you're an artist, for example, could be a residency. It says apprenticeship, craftsmanship, personal effort. Like you could be receiving something for the personal effort that you've put in, that's going to really aid you in your self-sovereignty and independence. But just be mindful, because I see that 5 of Swords, there could be like energies around that don't want this to happen, or could just be conflicting. Like, what's that saying? Like conflict of interest, is that it? I do see that there needs to be some changes in the ways in which this collective, that this resonates with, how you'll think. But I do think something is changing and transforming. The way you think, the way you talk, something to do with your ideas. Yeah.